Alright, so this is the chapter of indices. Okay, so what is indices? So what does indices looks like? Okay, so example of indices is something like this. So we have a 5. Okay, so beside this 5, right, I have also another number, but this number is a bit smaller. Okay, so this number exists right here. Okay, so maybe just right here. Okay, so I have a big number and a small number. So this small number, maybe I just put 2 here. Okay, so this big number is what we call the base. Okay, the small number on top, this one normally we'll say is superscript, right? Okay, but this one is the index. Okay, yeah. So this is what we call indices. Okay, so so for indices, right, there are quite a bit of laws to memorize. Okay, so the first law, as we can see right here, right, the first law is 2 to the power of 2 times 2 to the power of 3. What can I get from these two multiplication? Yeah, so always remember, whenever you see multiply, right, you think of plus. Okay, so 2 to the power of 2, so the base, you notice that the base here and the here is the same, right? So if the base is the same, right, you just simply put 2 here first. Okay, and the index is different. Okay, so we have to do something about the index. Alright, so 2 and 3, since it's a multiplication, right, I can make it into addition. Okay, so it's plus. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Yeah. Okay, so my answer should be 2 to the power of 5. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so second law is 2 to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 3. Yeah. Okay, so whenever you see divide, you think of minus, right? And since they have the same base, so I just write the 2 first. Okay, and I write the 5 and 3 on top. Okay, then you put a minus sign. Right, so 2 to the power of 5 minus 3. So you will get about 2 to the power of 2. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so for the third law you can see we have brackets, right? Yeah. Okay, so 2 to the power of 5 is inside the bracket, and there's a index 2 outside. Okay, so this one is quite straightforward. You simply just use 2, okay, 5 multiply by the 2. Okay, so you'll get 2 to the power of 10. Okay, so for this, because whenever we do bracket, so let's just say 2 times 5. Okay, so there's a bracket, right? There's a bracket means that it's implied that 2 multiplied by 5, so it's 10. Yeah, so likewise for the indices law number 3. Okay, so there's a bracket. Yeah, so you just multiply. Right. Okay, so let's go to law number 4 and law number 5. Right. So if you notice, the base now is different, but the index is the same. Okay, so how should I put these indices together? Okay, so since the base is the same, I simply just put the bracket here. Okay, put a bracket, and you just put since the index is the same, the base is not the same. Okay, the index you put 5 here, and whatever that's inside the bracket you just put 2, 3. Okay, 2 multiplied by 3. Okay, so likewise for law number 5. Okay, law number 5, the base is different, but the index is the same. So you simply just put a bracket first, you put the index 8, right? And of course you put 3 over 4 inside the bracket. Yeah, so this will be the law number 4 and law number 5. Okay, law number 6 to 9 is what we also need to know. Okay, so 5 to the power of 0, 6 to the power of 0, and 1 million to the power of 0. So what does all this represent? Any number to the power of 0 is always equal to 1. Okay, equal to 1. Right, so this is law number 6. Okay, law number 7 will be 2 to the power of negative 5. You notice that the index is negative. How do I make my index into positive? Okay, you simply just need to put in terms of fraction. Right, so 1 over 2 to the power of 5. Yeah, so this is how you make your index positive. Okay, law number 8. Law number 8 deals with square root. Okay, how do I put square root in terms of indices? You simply just put 2 and a half. Okay, so it's your index is half. Because square root, right? Square root involve a 2, right? So you just put 2 to the power of half. What about cube root? Cube root is just 2, 1 over 3. Okay, fourth root will be just 2, 1 over 4. Fifth root will be just 2, 1 over 5. Okay, then of course, 1000th root is 2 to the power of 1 over 1000. Right, so this is law number 8. Okay, so law number 9. Law number 9 actually is also the same as law number 8. Yeah, okay, so what if you have square root and the square root inside the number has a index 2 to the power of 3? How should you put everything? So you simply just write the number that's inside the square root first. So 2 to the power of 3. Okay, then you put a bracket. Then since square root is, you square root anything is to the power of half, right? You just put a half here. Okay, so now this formula is back to our law number 3 already. Okay, so you simply just multiply the 3 and a half. Okay, so 2. 3 times half is about 3 over 2. Okay, so this will be back to your law number 3. Okay, so another example will be fourth root of your 2 to the power of 5, right? So just write your 2 to the power of 5 first. Then you bracket first. Alright, then you put the 4 or the 1 quarter here. Then after that, just manipulate further. So 2, 5 times 1 quarter is 5 over 4. Alright, so this is law number 9. So there are a bit of laws to remember. Okay, so for the more important laws will be our law number 1. Okay, law number 2. And of course, law number 3. These are the more important laws that we need to remember. Okay, so let's move on to our solving of equation. Okay, so solving an equation we have seen quite a lot of time, right? Be it your inequality, be it your normal equation. Okay, for indices we also need to solve for x. So how do we solve for x? Looking at this example, 8 to the power of x times 2 equal to 16. So normally your x will not be your base. Your x will always be the index, the smaller number. I mean the smaller thing lah. Okay, so okay, first of all, whenever we solve for indices, we need to make the left hand side and the right hand side the base into the same number. Okay, so what do I mean? Okay, so 16 in terms of 2 to the power of 4 is equal to 16. Alright, and let's take a look at 8. 8. So 8 to the power of 3 is equal to 8. Okay, so let me manipulate further. So if you put 2 to the power of 3, okay, you bracket. Alright, so since there's an x, right, I cannot just throw away the x. So remember, there's an x here. Okay, so 2 to the power of 3 inside this bracket is 8. Okay, you multiply by 2. 2, you can see there's no index. So it's understood that there's a 1 here. Right? And 16, since 16 is 2 to the power of 4, I just write here. Okay, so you notice that we have made the base the same, which is very important for solving of your indices equation. Okay, because ultimately we want to get rid of the base. We only want to deal with the index. Right? Okay, so now let's for this the left hand side. Okay, we need to go back to our law number 1. Okay, law number 1 is you multiply, right? Multiply become plus. Okay, so before that you need to manipulate this purple thing first. So 3 times x is 3x, right? Multiply by 2 to the power of 1 equal to 2 to the power of 4. Okay, so we need to manipulate further using law number 1. So you can see that the base is the same, just that the index is different. So you just put 2. Since multiply, right? Multiply means 3x plus 1, okay, equal to 2 to the power of 4. Okay, so you notice that the left and the right hand side, the base is 2. So I can get rid already. Okay, so I can say that my 3x plus 1 is equal to 4. Okay, so it's already back to our normal equation already. Okay, so it's here, right? So 3x plus 1 is equal to 4. Alright, and of course 3x equal to 4 minus 1 is 3, and x is equal to 1. Right, so this is how I solve my indices equation. Okay, so yeah, so for our solving of equation, always make the base the same. Alright, okay, let's go to the next example. So you can see that square root 216 times 6 to the power of x. You notice that the x is always in the index, okay, equal to 1. So our first step, always make your base the same, right? But the question is for the 1 is a bit difficult, right? Because 6 to the power of something cannot equal to 1, right? But actually can. Okay, so if you remember your law number 6, right? Anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1, right? So we can put 6 to the power of 0. So I have put the base at 6 already. Okay, so now let's do the left hand side. Okay, left hand side, 216. Okay, square of 216, you just put 216 to the power of half times 6 to the power of x equal to 6 to the power of 0. Okay, so 216, 6 to the power of something equal to 216. Okay, so let me okay, so 6 to the power of 3, okay, equal to 216. So I just put a bracket first and a half, because 6 to the power of 3 itself is equal to 216. Right, so I multiply by 6 to the power of x equal to 6 to the power of 0. Okay, so let's manipulate further. Okay, so you look at the bracket, 6 to the power of 3 bracket half, right? Okay, so this is back to law number 3. Okay, so 6 to the power of, so 3 times half is 3 over 2. Okay, so times 6 to the power of x equal to 6 to the power of 0. Right, okay, so left hand side is back to law number 1. Okay, law number 1. So multiply means plus. Okay, so 6, 3 over 2 plus x is equal to 6 to the power of 0. Okay, so you look at the left and right hand side, the base is exactly the same. Okay, so now we can say that the index is the same. Okay, so 3 over 2 plus x is equal to 0. So 3 over 2 plus x is equal to 0. So x is equal to negative 3 over 2. Okay, yeah, so this is how you solve indices equation. Okay, always number 1, left hand side, right hand side, okay, make it into same base. Okay, right, okay, so of course number 2, for the left hand side, okay, just you need to manipulate until there's only one term left. Okay, make it until one term left. Okay, the right hand side also must have one term left. Right hand side to one term left. Then after that, of course, the last but not least, since you have the same base, since the left hand side is one term, the right hand side is one term, you can solve for the equation already. Alright.